Good morning and welcome to the webinar. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Rahul Gupta. I head the enterprise business for ISRI India, based out of Delhi. We'll be just taking you through the webinar titled GIS-based infrastructure management for architecture, engineering and construction segment. Just to start, let me just share the agenda with you. So we'll be talking a little bit very briefly about ISRI. We also have our partner Capricorn with us. We'll give them to share a little bit about themselves. We'll be talking about the various use cases and the perspective that we have for AEC and how we can help them across. What is the value that our solutions add to the AEC segment and the infrastructure segment. We had a lot of interactions with our colleagues and friends in the AEC segment in the infrastructure domain, and we tried to understand this challenges in the last couple of months and couple of our interactions. And what we have tried to do is we have tried to capture some of those challenges. How do we address those? And those are the things that we'll be covering today. Coming to what ISRI, and so I assume you would have heard about ISRI. So we are globally the market leaders in geospatial analytics and GIS domain. And we are based out of Redlands, California. It's a multi-billion-dollar organization. We have around 350,000 customers worldwide. Around 130 countries. Our presence is there across various regions. In India, we have been present since 1996. I'll be talking a little bit more about our India presence. But before that, let me invite my friend and colleague Amarnath from our one of our very important partners, Capricorn. Over to you, Amar. Amar, you are on mute.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul. And good morning to one and all present, and having taken the time to invest this 1.5 hours of your time to understand how GIS and BIM can help you to take your infrastructure projects to the next level. A brief introduction about Capricorn. Of course, Capricorn has been in business for a long time. We help to unleash your ideas to create a better world. I think that is the essence of today. I think to give you a brief, we have been in business from 1987. We have around 20,000 plus trusted customers. We have offices across 10 cities in India, and we have been powered by 300 plus inspired and committed employees. So what is it that drives us actually? So I think, of course, for us, customer is first. And of course, any company is all about employees. So we are also equally looking forward to the employee growth and development. And of course, passion for technology, what drives us. And we are always in pursuit of excellence. And one of these strengths that we have is, I think, the financial discipline, actually, which I think is very critical for organizations to move forward. I think that is what we have. And the industries that we work with, as it can be noted from here, we across domains we support, be it AEC, manufacturing, media and entertainment, government, education, graphic arts, consulting, hardware and software, and of course, education, this thing. So when it comes to consulting, because one of the unique things about Capricorn is we use the technology which we sell, unlike other partners who are box pushers. That is where our strength is actually. And coming to very precisely to why we are here with ISRI, because most of you might know who are part of this, know that Capricorn has been a front runner when it comes to AEC space. I think we have been in the business and we have been focusing majorly on AEC, partnering with Autodesk for about 28 plus years actually. And coming specifically to what we are looking at, we have seen that from the various reports and the studies that we understand, there is going to be a huge boost in the infrastructure going from now to 2050. I think I don't want to go through each of the numbers, but actually you can see there. So I think with this kind of a thing, I think there are a lot of challenges that also get associated with it. So only when two leaders like Autodesk and ISRI came forward to bring about an integration. That is the reason why, I'm also here to just give a brief about it. So this is where it is. I think it was really strategic in nature for us to have a partnership with ISRI because of our rich experience in the space. Now, I think we can boast of providing you an integrated and a collaborative workflow that removes you to work from isolation or in silos, and you also get a better understanding of the projects and also reduce the inefficiencies and, of course, what the world needs today, the more sustainable and resilient infrastructure. So in the process, what we are doing is we are helping our customers to address the global challenges like climate change, population growth, mass urbanization, because we see that there's a movement from rural to urban. So all this, which are straining the world infrastructure. So I think without much ado, I think I would definitely hope and you will have a very great insight into the tool and the technology. Help us out actually. So thank you, ISRI, for partnering, and then we'll take it forward from here. Yeah. Thank you, Rahul.
Thanks a lot, Tama. Really appreciate. Like, it's a fulfilling relationship that the two organizations carry. We definitely will carry it further along the value add that will bring to our say audience here. So talking a bit about our India presence, we have been present in India since 1996. We have close to 5,000 plus customers. We have been present, we are headquartered out of Noida, UP, but we have offices in across all the major cities of India. And in fact, we are present in terms of, through our partners, most of the cities that we talk about. As in our solutions and our technology goes in, it's a very horizontal solution that we have to offer. We have solutions spanning the government bodies, be it central government, be it state government. We give solutions to utility companies and telecom operators. We have solutions for enterprise business. It can be manufacturing, automotive, consumer durables, banking, finance, insurance companies, real estate companies, and of course, say very importantly, our AEC segment, or what we call as architecture, engineering, and construction segment. So what we are going to be covering today. So what we understand is, say, addressing infrastructure management challenges. Communities rely on architecture, engineering, construction, and environmental management firms. ISRI as a world leader in GIS and its focus for AEC or infrastructure segment helps in the following: empowering digital transformation, modeling and integrating infrastructure networks, providing a complete platform, enabling digital twins. ArcGIS happens to be our flagship solution. With its core capability of geospatial analytics and the capability of BIM integration, drone collections, real-time integration, field mobility solutions, we provide a holistic approach to the AEC and infrastructure segment. Today, we'll take you through the solutions to share some light on our capabilities and how your organizations can take benefit of these powerful platform. I'll now pass it on to my colleague, Prashant. Prashant is part of our sales consulting team. He's part of ISRI India. Prashant, over to you, please.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you for setting the context. So, as we go ahead, I believe my screen is visible to everyone. And as Rahul mentioned, let me start with the AEC life cycle, where how GIS is being placed in the AEC workflow context. So GIS, or in other words, the location intelligence, changes how we plan, design, build, operate our projects and maintain our assets. So location intelligence applied to a wide range of architecture, engineering, construction projects accelerates deliverables and leads to a better decision making, which typically helps architects, engineers, builders, and owners who can improve the workflows, bring the context of projects, and increase the collaboration through the use of location intelligence. The entire AEC lifecycle from planning to maintenance can be improved by adding that location intelligence context, which gives an insight of the neighborhood. So typically in the planning phase, in AEC projects, it is typically to understand the existing conditions or make projections and set up the project to meet the needs of stakeholders in the most efficient, compliant, and well thought out manner. So GIS technology brings critical insights to the workflow with visualization or by creating reports or analytical results. So in addition to the visual analytics, from overlaying multiple layers that brings or provides thousands of analytical tools GIS provides, and it enables AEC project delivery based on data driven and location based insights. In the designing phase for the planners or designers, during the planning or designing phase, typically the teams work to develop conceptual or schematic or a detailed project views that strive to address issues from issues of form or function or viability. So our architects or landscape designers or urban planners and engineers use GIS as one of their key business systems during this problem solving process. Adding to geographic context to their drawings or schematics and the models enriches the data and effectiveness, which is typically realized actually. And combining building information modeling BIM and CAD with the reality captured imagery, 3D meshes which is captured from drones or LiDAR surveys, and every type of map imaginable brings new visualization to process and visualization and other analytical capabilities to the processes in the design phase. For the building phase in the life cycle, managers or superintendents, field workers combined efforts during the building phase to prepare detailed plans and then execute against those plans in predictable or safe cost-effective ways. Location intelligence also can be used or applied to the build of phase brings visibility to the best use of people or materials or equipment, and supplies which is coming and going from the job site daily on a day-to-day basis. So understanding this volume or velocity and schedule of materials on site brings a valuable understanding of a project supply chain and logistics challenges, and GIS offers a common view or a real-time visualization, also the historical context of essential information to the team, and it brings office or job site with better collaboration. So it is not only for the building phase, for the operation O&M phase also, GIS technology provides visualization for managing, maintaining, monitoring, and ongoing life cycle reporting. So GIS plays a pivotal role in this specific phase of O&M for organizations managing infrastructure or building projects, sharing information with internal or external stakeholders, provide them with analytical tools to support critical business decision making and scheduling. It also helps for asset tracking, inspections, workforce management, real-time data integration, and helps all stakeholders in the project delivery and ease and smooth work management options. So by keeping this workflow in mind, how AEC sector is evolving. So from working in silos by each department with just BIM or CAD data sets as inputs, AEC sector evolved and are using various technologies and interoperable data sets, including drones, LiDAR, or IoT integrations, ERP system integration, PMS system integrations, GIS BIM integrations, using tools like artificial intelligence or machine learning, etc., to create a digital twin and perform various use cases where location intelligence are used. As we know that each project site and each entity in the project site are having a location tag, like design and engineering phase or asset management phase or operation management. It also uses or GIS is being helping organizations in facility management or field mobility. So we have tried to touch upon all these use cases. So whatever you are seeing in the slide of analytics, emergency management, regulatory compliance, etc. So have tried to touch upon some of such important use cases where GIS helps the AEC or infrastructure firms in detail. So the first use case which I would like to cover is the land acquisition and management. Land availability, acquisition and management are very critical in AEC sector, and GIS helps to capture and maintain relevant information about cadastry, land use, acquisition status or availability status in a central location. There might be multiple projects and multiple agencies which are providing land or acquisition permissions. So that needs to be managed centrally. A common repository needs to be maintained, which GIS helps to do with its enterprise-wide implementation. There would be a need of managing multiple project locations and bring various data sources also together to create this repository. So also any organization would need the information available through a web or mobile application for management. Let's see a couple of such examples in the form of dashboard or web application for monitoring the assets or how this is being managed using cadastry management system. So this is a example of ArcGIS operational dashboard. All this platform are configurable with zero development effort, and organization can come up with an operation dashboard like this. So what you're seeing is a cadastral information right of way dashboard for a road construction system. Say for example, if you see there are different if I open different legends which is available, different layers have been captured, like the assets. Not only that, it also gives an insight of the land acquisition status and the infographic. So you might have seen some of such integrations with Power BI or other systems where you can bring in the statistical information in the form of infographics. Here with an interactive dashboard, you can bring in the land acquisition or land availability status in this form, and all assets information etc. can be brought in, and also you can bring in the infographics, whether it is a government land or a private land, or whether you have some infrastructure planning needs to be done for road crossings with water bodies, whether it is acquired or permission is granted. Similar statuses can be managed or created using this operational dashboard view. Now this is another example of land management web application, which helps to understand different land uses in a specific township or a larger project area. So say for example, this will give you an example of number of plots available and its area availability, and a filter will help us to understand whether how many plots are available as a commercial land use, or how many are available in the open space, or if it is for an industrial construction. So this is a very simple way of representing GIS data, and by bringing master plans onto the GIS platform, as well as configuring it in a web environment, which enables better collaboration and bringing different team engagements into this GIS platform. Going back to another use case where AEC segment is being helped by GIS is a real-time project monitoring system. So in the project monitoring also, this is also a very critical use case where GIS helps in various ways. So project status dashboards, like the dashboard what you currently saw, we can configure multiple types of dashboards with various locations of project locations, or work status, or crew tracking, asset tracking, project data, infographics, etc. So these are some of the use cases where you can integrate project monitoring system also into this GIS system, and can create an operational dashboard to see the progress. You can bring in workforce monitoring system also. Work can be assigned and that can be tracked, their location can be tracked, and their work status also can be brought into the dashboard. Let me show you some of these examples. So this is an example of capital project dashboard, again, which is developed on ArcGIS operational dashboard concept, you can check in different types of projects available. So parks, sewer collection projects, or transportation projects, water distribution projects, whether it is in a pre-design phase or design phase, construction phase. So whatever you select, accordingly the datasets will be dynamically displayed, and the project location and other information will be displayed in the map. Ancillary information, whether it is on budget, on schedule, in each specific segment, if you select, it is very interactive. You can bring in all the ancillary information or the MIS information about this project into this dashboard. Another example of dashboard is again with the infographics into the dashboard, where the total cost, whether it is a water distribution project. So you can select a specific project and it will show you the appropriate project site, and you can zoom in, and it is all interactive. So you can get the detailed view about the projects in the dashboard itself. So as a management team by an organization wants to monitor different capital projects, can be used or can be benefited with this kind of dashboards configured. So the time consumption to create such dashboards are very minimal, as there is no development effort. So this is another web application which also helps for monitoring different projects. So this example gives you to have a filter. Say for example, multiple layers can be brought in. So you can filter by project status, by applying a criteria, or else. So you can see this is a road construction project for entire state, and you can bring in filters by specific region allotted to a specific engineer, or it can be by a district or by a state. If your organization is working on a national front, you can have multiple filters, and depending upon that, it will give you the statistics also. So you can filter in whether all projects or a specific value. If you select, that specific project will be seen, and number of projects in that specific area, total value, total expenses, all the project related ancillary information MIS can be integrated. You do not need to create or maintain multiple databases together. This will be a front-ending application for all the stakeholders, from the management to the field crew. So appropriate permissions can be granted to see such data sets which is available. Another example is for field crew management. So as you see, all these are monitoring dashboards which gives you an insight like how GIS can be incorporated with the management system for monitoring progress monitoring and asset monitoring aspect of it. So this is for workforce tracking. As I mentioned, ArcGIS has out-of-box capability of assigning tasks and tracking the field crew. Provide so how many work has been assigned, how many are in progress, how many are completed, their current location also can be tracked, and whether they are live now or not can be also tracked, and infographics of that also can be brought into this dashboard. This is for typically the field crew monitoring and management, workforce management aspect of it. Similarly, this is for construction logistics. You will have different pipe locations, their qualities, construction assets, whether it is an entrance, whether it is exposed utility, whether it is a tree or a vehicle. So all can be mapped, and that can be brought into different infographics, whether the inspection status, whether it is complete. So towards the end of phase, this kind of applications can be integrated together to create such operational dashboard. So this is about the real-time project monitoring use case. Another aspect is the transportation planning. So as we were mentioning different use cases what GIS can support. One of the areas in the AEC sector where GIS is being used by transport engineers and planners, and it would be for analyzing existing conditions. It can be for evaluating existing infrastructure, seeing real-time scenarios of transit data or transportation information, or accidents, So various analysis a transport engineer typically or a transportation planner typically uses. So these multi-layer analytics will help them for understanding the real-time scenario, or to monitor existing road closures or work progress mechanisms, to plan a specific infrastructure in that area, or to monitor the existing project work which is in progress in the transportation sector. Let's see some of such examples in the dashboard again. So I have another example of road construction dashboard. So these are all different projects which is available for a road asset monitoring or road closures for construction management. So this is a live dashboard by MODT, where different projects are available. If you select a specific project, it will directly go to that specific project, and if you select back, it will show you the complete scenario of the complete projects, what is available in the given area, what is in progress, what are completed in 2020, and the state wise or specific sector wise transportation segments will be there. And if you want to see how many specific construction projects are in a specific area, that can be filtered out, and the speed limits, etc., can be incorporated in this. Now another example is for highway monitoring. So you can see phase wise information can be brought in. So this is a transportation planner's perspective, like different highway linear projects in different phases can be brought in, color coded. And if you want to incorporate the transit information, so whether it is phase 1, phase 2, and from where it starts and where it ends, this information and additional. So when you click on a specific segment, it will give you more detailed information about that specific segment, its value, whether it is funded or fund is needed. All such information can be incorporated in this. It also helps you to bring in the active transportation layers also. It also helps you to do some corridor preservation. So if there are some specific area which needs to be preserved, and that information also can be brought in. So multiple layers can be incorporated in the web application, or it can be accessed by out of box mobile application also, and you can see the holistic picture of all projects. So this will give us a overall picture of a transportation planner's perspective, and this will help them for incorporating their plans, whether a new infrastructure is required for that specific area or not. So for that, one more input might be needed is the live traffic information and existing asset information. So this is an example of existing infrastructure facility which is available in that specific given area, whether and after the inspection it is being told that these are good, these are fair, these are poor. So there is a maintenance or reconstruction of this specific infrastructure needs to be taken care. So this will be one of the inputs. Another information will be the live traffic information. So if I superimpose my legend for you, so this will give an average daily traffic for a specific area. So ISRI is providing live traffic service as well, so that can be incorporated into the transportation planners frame for incorporating this live information for infrastructure planning and development. So the transportation planner or that specific segment or use case can be addressed. Now coming to another area is asset progress monitoring. So similar to project progress which we saw earlier, it is important to have surveillance and construction monitoring remotely. With the remote sensing and GIS techniques, it is possible to integrate drones or full motion videos for construction monitoring or surveillance. So I can give you an example, like if you have a construction site which is identified, and by flying drones in a regular interval or monthly basis, we can create the construction monitoring site plan, which will help to monitor the construction progress. Also it allows us to integrate AI, artificial intelligence to detect specific assets. It also can get integrated with IoT or other sensors which is deployed in the construction site for a specific equipment's work status, whether it is currently working or not. That can be monitored. Again, it can be the front-ending application can be a operational dashboard or a web application. Let me show you some of the examples in that terms. So this is an example where different drone types have been captured, have been using for capturing information on a specific project site. So if you see, it is starting from 2018 to 2020. So if I just uh, tick on a specific project site, you can see this is the project site identified, and the ortho photo which is created from the drone fly is showing the project site, and the construction is about to start. Now if I go to March 2019, the work has been started, and you can see the ortho photo generated where the project status which is clearly visible. So if you go further down and take another example wherein the construction state can be clearly monitored with this. So this is a front-ending application using ArcGIS platform, and currently if you see the progress is like this. So this is a simple way, and you can have animations, or you can pose it. So if you want to see this superimpose the building model into that, you can directly bring in, and these are all interactive and 3D layers. You can see the structural information also along with the model, and which is available to see. Along with this, you can also bring in point cloud. So as I mentioned, multiple ortho mosaics can be created from the drone, and it will help you to understand what was the condition in April 2019, and what is the status in September, and what is the status in January 2020. So this will give a complete picture of it depends on you how you want to create the front-ending application for a change detection study or a progress monitoring application. It can also be used as a point cloud or a 3D mesh to see the complete picture of the construction site. So as I mentioned, for asset and progress monitoring, GIS and remote sensing both are being used, and ISRI is helping you with a platform which can get integrated with drones or LiDAR, or it can get integrated with even full motion video, which is a MISB compliant video for surveillance, or else if you have any IoT deployment in the longer project site, that also can be integrated together. So another example or use case is the specific analytics. So it is not only about the visualization in both 2D or 3D, it is about the analytics also. So GIS allows us to do analytics in terms of site suitability. That is one of the prime analytics what GIS offers to any sector, obviously for AEC as well. Environmental analytics for specifically if there is a construction project in the environmentally sensitive areas, we need to submit EIA. So GIS will help us to create EIA reports by multi-criteria analysis. It also helps to, as you already know, that it can have three-dimensional analytics as well. It can be for on ground or underground. So geological analytics or hydrology analysis or terrain analysis will help the designers or planners to incorporate those inputs in their plans, and structural engineer also can get benefited with these kind of analytical results for better decision making. Integrating the engineers and planners inputs with this geographical analytics options to build a multi-criteria analysis and foresee scenarios in 3D will give a different perception altogether. It is not that only in a CAD environment or in a planning environment people will be or the engineers or the planners will be seeing. If you bring the surrounding scenario, whether whether there is water logging or the soil parameters accordingly, or if it is for the disaster management perspective, like if the construction site is falling in a fault zone or earthquake zone, appropriate construction or structural design needs to be built. So from an end-to-end solution, GIS analytics helps to integrate with the engineers or planners domain, and it gives a better perception for better decision making and execution. Coming to the engineering and public works example, so as I mentioned, GIS analytics, you can also integrate or bring engineering drawing to GIS context. It will give a better perception of surroundings, which I already mentioned, and a common platform to manage and collaborate with various stakeholders. So it brings a new area. It brings to a new area of for infrastructure planners and operation management team to work together with the digital twin and real world scenarios. And another example, so I will just quickly show one of the examples how you can bring in the engineering drawing. So this is an example where you can bring in the structural design into the geography, and you can also bring in the underground information. So this is an example of a metro project. So the complete structural design can be brought into GIS, and it also helps to bring in, say for example, the tunnel information or the utility information together. It also helps to have a better perception. So it also gives a complete perspective of the project and a larger perspective of the project beyond working with a specific design. So this is the use case where how you bring in the engineering drawing. And before passing to my colleague Asad for the BIM GIS part of it, I will cover one more use case, which is the facility management and indoor part of it, because apart from the discussed use cases, the facility management or indoor routing or space management are also where the areas where GIS helps. So ArcGIS as a platform with its capabilities of integration to indoor management solution helps to create a digital twin or bringing design or engineering drawings or create a routing within a facility or a space management kind of solution also. So let me quickly show an example of that and pass to my colleague Asad for taking you through the GIS BIM integration and other use cases. So this is an example. So just give me a minute. Yeah. So this is an example of a space inventory status. So you can see a building design can be brought in, and you can bring in the occupied or vacant room plots into a web application, and the land uses or the space utilization also can be brought in. So I can bring that into a 3-dimensional indoor viewer, and here you can explore other facilities. You can bring in your events information. You can create the direction also. So this will both work in 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional way, and it also helps you to do a wayfinding in 3-dimension. So as an example, I will just click one of the room which is available, and from that point, if I want to go to a specific floor, I will select a specific floor which is available, and I can have options of walking or wheelchair facility, and it will give me a complete 3D route, and I can select between all floors or a specific floor detail. And this is an example of wayfinding and 3D routing facility what ArcGIS indoors are having. So for a specific integration with a facility management and routing, it can help. Now it also helps you for facility management. Here you can see I can connect to real-time feeds and a complete facility picture. The drawing can be brought in, or the real model can be brought in into GIS, and you can integrate with the real-time feeds to see, say for example, this is a tracking hospital assets. So where the security guards are, where the wheelchairs are available, This can be for any use case, but this is an example. And it also helps you for creating a dashboard on the space management side of it. So how many rooms are vacant, how many patients are there in a hospital. This can be a use case for a corporate facility also. You can have alerting mechanism by creating geofences if restricted entries are having said that there are restricted entries, people can be alerted. It can also get integrated with indoor positioning system for positioning yourself inside a facility and wayfinding working forward. So these are some of the demos which we thought of giving you a glimpse about some of the use cases. And I request my colleague Asad to take you through the BIM and GIS integration and further use cases on it. Thank you.
Thanks, Prashant, for the in-depth information. So taking this forward, my session, I will be speaking and focusing on to the three stakeholders of AEC, that's architectural engineering and construction side. So one is for the civil engineers, site engineers, builders, urban planner, and town planners, how they can actually use it in terms of integrating the GIS as well as BIM altogether. So it's basically the interoperability I'm going to speak about. Second is about the surveyor, because we understand that surveyor plays a very, very important and very vital role once you're going for the road construction survey or a land and soil survey or any kind of a survey from which actually, or land parcel survey, so any kind of a survey that you're doing onto the field. So we are going to understand that. And the third and the important stakeholder that I believe is the cost and estimation engineer, because these are the people actually who looks out for the capital portfolios for the entire sites for the different projects. So starting up with the GIS and BIM. So we call it like GIS informs BIM and BIM fuels GIS. So all these goes in hand to hand. So for a typical AEC project delivery, which involves like from the preliminary design and planning, from the detailed designing, where you're looking out for the schematics like SLDs, single line diagrams, or multiple line diagrams, and different engineers also constituting their works and working all together. So it uses different softwares like Autodesk or Bentley or any particular BIM technology that we are speaking about. Third, that goes in hand to hand is about the pre-construction side. You would like to have a planning done. You would like to understand how the model is going to look like before the final construction goes. And once everything is deployed in the real world, that's basically the construction when it starts up, when the inception of the construction starts, we need to understand the geographical context as well. And that's where actually GIS comes into picture. And geographic information systems helps the AEC engineers, typical AEC engineers, for managing the entire site to understand the geographical context out of it. Right away from the regulatory and permitting, as my colleague Prashant has also mentioned in few slides, that that there are different regulatory and policies for right away from land acquisition to the construction of the sites and so on. Master planning for the smart cities or for any city development or for urban sprawl. So we need to understand the GIS context out of it. So you have your engineers who works on onto the hardcore part, and you have the GIS geotechnical engineers who use GIS or location intelligence to integrate both all these together for a life cycle of constructing your site and to the delivering of the site. Moving ahead, just to understand like how they actually work. So GIS and BIM, as I mentioned, like they go hand to hand nowadays, and GIS is a very, very important role for the people who are working on the BIM technology for the final delivery of the project. So if BIM engineers are using InfraWorks for conceptual design, if they are using for Revit for architectural structure and design, or even though for the AutoCAD Civil 3D, that's basically used for the transportation and utilities engineering, and for the construction as well, typical, be it from electrical or from mechanical or any civil product that you're using in order to get your models, materials, and schedules. So you can use and integrate GIS all together. So we have the platform capabilities available where you can use it for the use cases like planning. You can use it for utilities. You can use it for indoors that Prashant has showcased. Like indoor routing is very, very important nowadays. And post-COVID, this session, offices are opening with the infrastructure where you need to maintain a social distancing. How do you understand the capacity and the space utilization? Then you have your imagery also using the remote sensing. So all these are part of the GIS ecosystem only. which constitutes like land records, urban planning, facilities and operations management for the public works, be it like public safety from the Homeland Security and the citizen engagement side. So this is where I would like to emphasize upon, like over the past few years, ISRI and Autodesk have been working all together to help the engineers from AEC, civil engineers, and different constitutional engineers who work onto the real estate side as well. And they are working for BIM and GIS to improve project efficiency and delivery. So far we have connectors and add-ins for Autodesk, which are basically for Civil 3D, InfraWorks, BIM 360. And this actually helps the AEC teams together to increase the entire collaboration, where you can share up your work and boost productivity. With a typical example of a product called ArcGIS Pro. So that's the product that we have it. So users who are using ArcGIS Pro or who would like to use it, they can actually now establish a direct connection to their Autodesk BIM 360. So it's basically the cloud environment where you can access and use BIM data, be it like Revit, DWG, or any particular Autodesk file in ArcGIS Pro for visualization and analysis that I'm going to demonstrate in after this. And as well as you can extend the capability to publish your data on ArcGIS Online as well as ArcGIS Enterprise. So typically, in a nutshell, if I say for the architectural, engineering, and construction industries, this is a very big addition to the capabilities of the ArcGIS platform for the real world context. Moving ahead, second, as I mentioned about the surveyors, so as I extended, the surveyor are the people who would be working out in the field, who will be getting up the data on a real time. So we have the applications available, mobile applications that can actually integrate with your external GPS as well, like a road survey or chainage linkage for a road survey linkage, or any particular waterworks that you are doing, any kind of a survey that you're doing, you can bring up your work using mobile applications. Third is about the cost and estimation engineer, and we have especially mentioned about this because cost and estimation engineers are working onto the are just getting up the data from the site engineers, but they are not having the geographical context. So where actually they would like to optimize their entire cost estimates, where they want to understand that where the estimate is going beyond the allocated value or the price that has been set up. So that's where actually project cost estimations comes into picture. So GIS gives a full view to understand where these data sets have been created from the field, as well as where actually you are having a contingency of the cost locations. Also, you can bring up your demographic data analysis as well, like in terms of population, households, and so. Then you have like topographical cost planning and analysis. So typical construction would be different from the plain area to the hilly areas or to the coastal areas. And finally, you can bring up your GIS dataset within your cost template spreadsheet, because we believe, and we have heard from the industry, that the cost and estimation engineers typically work from the Excel template that you have it. So let's try to see and check it, some of the demos for the same. Okay, so this is a particular Revit model that I have imported up in ArcGIS Pro. So this is a particular platform which can help you out to integrate with BIM 360 degree as well. And this is a typical 3D Revit model that I have in a geographically placed at a right location. So in terms of understanding what kind of an analysis I can do, so if a person says that, okay, I need to understand the interiors of this particular Revit model, can GIS help me out with that? So yes, we can do that. As you can see over here, that I can simply drag in and I can simply see the interiors of a particular building. It could be from any particular angle, it could be from any particular floor. So this helps me out to understand the capacity planning or the resource and allocation planning. If I'm working on an office space construction, or where I need to place up my doors, where I need to place up my windows, and where I need to place up my different architectural assets within a building, I can have it done. And the most important factor is about the solar also. Like you can place up your solar panels on the top and you can design it accordingly. Second, if I give you an example about where the construction happens, so it is typically for the people who have who are living in a societies with a high skyscrapers, and you would like to know if my direction is going, how much area is going to be visible from my from my line of sight. So this is actually typically an example where you can see that the area that is in red or pinkish in color is the area that is not visible to you, and the green one is visible to you. You can simply drag it, and you can see how much area can be visible from different angles, from a particular window or from a particular roof terrace or a particular balcony, and so on. Moving ahead, if I would like to share up my entire work to understand how is my proposed site is going to look like. So this is how I can share up my work. So this is a particular site. You are looking into this particular building. This is a proposed. And if my site engineer says that, can you compare me with the as built, which is existing right now, to compare with that? So yes, the answer is yes. So let me tell you actually how I can do that. I can simply do the swiping of a tool to understand actually the proposed building, how is it going to look like versus the existing infrastructure that is laying down. So that is how actually geographical information system helps the engineers to plan and perform the analysis for the future work that they need to do or that they need to perform. Along with that, they can actually understand the sunlight analysis also. So if I simply drag in from a particular time window to another, we can see the shadows that are coming, and that's where actually I can have a different landscape of the rentals actually that I can ask the retail agencies to look out for. Second important thing, as I mentioned about the mobile application. So as you can see over here for this surveyor, this is a typical mobile application that you're looking onto my screen. That's basically a boring data collection. What I'm going to do, I'm a surveyor. I need to have a survey to be built up, and I need to share up my details in a digital format, not analog. So I can just put up like, this is my water boring. I can fill up the dates, time, and location as well, whole size in inches. So what exactly it was, it is like a water boring I'm looking into. Job name, I'll put it as boring 21. I can put up my contractor name who is working, and difficult actually. It is very configurable. So you just need not to write actually any piece of code. This is ready to use actually. Contact number, I'll just put it like, and what is the level of the excavation? When the start was like 10 feet, now it has increased to 12 feet. And I'm going to put up like 4 full-time resources who are working there. That's a part of my survey form. If I want to share up a particular image, I can have it done. I can simply click a photo of a particular site and I can place it. So over here, I've already got the photos. And the best part is about the geotagged locations. I can simply put it in terms of like, let's say I would like to have it done for Gurgaon. Okay, I've got any particular location. Okay, so I'll put it a particular location. That's my geotag location. And by the end, who is actually submitting? So that's me. I am the surveyor number 4, any particular name, and my date is today. Let's do that quickly. And if I submit my survey from the mobile, so you can see over here, I'll get my third point on the map. So you can see, okay, maybe, okay, it might take a time. So I'll just share up the results that I've processed actually. So this is how the details looks like. All the bore images, if I want to have it done. So this is the image that I uploaded along with the particular all details, like what was the water level excavation, like it was 10, 12, 4-time resources and surveyor 2. So this is a typical form that I have uploaded right now. So you can see over here, there were 2 details that were filled out. If I wanted to have a quick snapshot of the report, I can have it done. So these are my reports actually. I can have my charts and all those things available, like how many of them were water boring and about how many of them were oil gas reporting one. So that is how actually my surveyor can bring up the data sets from the typical mobile applications, and people can use it in terms of getting the real-time updates. One thing you can create out of this is about the operation dashboard that Prashant has configured. So you can bring up this data set on the operation dashboard as well. Third and the last one that I would like to emphasize upon, it's about the project and cost and estimate. So this is a typical template. So I just simply downloaded from the net. So it was a project template actually, and and there are a lot of assumption worksheets like environmental assumptions, how much cost is required, and all those aspects. And you have it like for the different contingency and how much revenue, actually how much price has been allocated for the construction. For road and construction, it was like 1,100,000, or for paving construction, utility construction, and so on. So by the end of the day, if I get this particular spreadsheet and I wanted to understand where actually I'm just increasing or overshooting my budget, which is my base location, which is my base price for entire grade construction, paving construction, utility construction, and so on. So is it possible I can see that what the site engineer is doing? Yes, the answer is yes. So what you can do, you can simply go to the map section of our Esri Maps for Office. And over here, what I have done, I have added these locations, which looks like these. So these are the green locations. The oval size tells me the total estimate that has actually coming up, that has been set up by or shared with me by the site engineers. The oval size gives me the total estimate, as you can see. And this is, I'm working on Excel only. I'm not moving on any other platform. I'm not navigating to any other platform. And over here, if I wanted to understand my base, I've added that data too. So the red ones are the base. So I can quickly see that the survey was not conducted properly. There was some gap actually where the survey was taken up. So this entire section of the road was not taken up. This is typically a UP area of Etawah. And over here, I can see my total estimate is more than the base estimate. My base estimate is red. My base estimate is red in color, and my total estimate is in green in color. So where my green is covering entire red, that means I'm having overshoot of the budget. So maybe over here, I can ask my site engineer to please look into the site and let me know the reasons because of the construction coming up from different locations, what actually spike up this particular cost actually. And finally, if I wanted to bring up the data set from external data set also, that's also I can do. I can simply search for a layer like this, and I can simply click add, and the entire data set is added over here onto the map. Right, you see over here. So you see, I can seamlessly get the data from any particular platform within GIS, and this helps me as a cost and estimation engineer to have a good control of the entire cost and estimation that is actually being allocated for a particular project. I can change my base maps also within Excel only. I can change it to a typical satellite imagery, and to see that how actually my satellite imagery looks like, where the construction is happening, and what actually is nearby, and all those catchment area and a neighborhood analysis that I can perform. So with this, I would like to end up my session with my final slide. That's basically with the summary that I would like to emphasize upon. Okay, maybe I'll just bring up my last slide. Right. So in summary, so a quick recap, what we have taken up with this session is about, like, you can with GIS fueled AEC for the typical civil engineers, site engineers, builders, urban planners, town planners, surveyors, cost and estimation engineers, structural engineers. So all these people, all these stakeholders and the higher stakeholders also can take the benefit and the advantages of GIS in terms of designing your smarter buildings and infrastructure, which is the need of the era right now because of the increasing population. It can help you to coordinate with each other in a optimized manner, which means that it can help you to save your time and sharing up your information. For the typical life cycle, project life cycle, it can help you out right away from understanding the site identification to the project delivery. It can help you to make and share maps, project map easily. It could be like your demographic map, population map, or typical land parcels map, or smart city maps. It can help you to understand what impacts can happen to your site in terms of the environmental impacts, and then actually it will finally help you out to minimize cost, which can reduce of the delays time or the delivery time for the critical design decisions. So I would like to end my session over here, and we would like to thank you for attending this.